In today's video, I'm going to discuss a few steps that you can take that can help prevent your house from burning down in a wildland fire. Another really important thing to consider is fire breaks. Now, what a fire break is, it can be something as small as a small dirt trail that is kept free of brush and undergrowth, or something as a cat road, wide 10, 12, 15, 20 feet wide, and that's around the perimeter of your property. If you're nestled up against a forest where there's a lot of trees, that can make a big difference. So one thing that I'm doing right here in the corner of my property is trying to get a nice wide 8-10 foot road all the way around the perimeter of the property. That'll do two things. That will help to stop a creeping ground fire. When the underbrush is burning and the fire is working along the ground, once it hits that dirt trail or road, it will prevent it from spreading any further. Also, it gives me or wildland firefighters access to the property. If I have something in the very back, the lower portion of the property that is burning and smoldering and not yet out of control, if I've maintained access to that, I can go myself and deal with it, or it will help provide access to wildland firefighters. So it makes a big difference. So it's something that will take some time, and you just work away at it and keep working at it, but it's nice to have that fire break all the way around your property. A trail is okay, better to have a road, but do what you can. It can make a big difference. And also, if you can, and you use firewood, try not to store the majority or the bulk of your firewood next to a building. If you can get it off away from the house 30 feet, maybe build a small woodshed cover for it, this will go a long ways in helping prevent a forest fire or your house from burning up in a wildland fire. As you can see, the front of my house here, we have a nice wide green area. No trees, no bushes, no shrubs, a well-kept lawn. This will go a long ways in preventing a forest fire. Kept, mowed area that's going to be very difficult for a fire to start. As you start cutting and limbing up your trees, you're going to produce a tremendous amount of underbrush and brush that you need to deal with. Leaving it on the ground where it lays is worse than leaving it on the trees. So you have two options. Either you're going to bunch it up and you're going to burn it, or you're going to chip it. Now, some of you guys live in areas where there are burn bans where you cannot burn, others where you can. Typically, the good time to burn is going to be between November and April, when the humidity's up and there's far less likely chance of you starting your own wildland fire. The other option is chipping, and let's discuss that right now. We do a combination of burning and chipping. Right now we are in a burn ban, and so we don't have that option anymore, but we still want to work through the summer and continue to make our manage our forests and make our property safer and less susceptible to burn. So in regards to chipper, I did a lot of research on that, and there's a lot of junk out there, a lot of bad chippers that aren't worth the money, and it's expensive to rent one. I looked into renting a decent chipper that would do up to 4-inch, and you're looking at around $600 a week, and so it could easily take 3 weeks to chip all of your wood, if not more, that you have around your property, and that's what you would spend on buying one. So a good chipper, you're going to pay, if you go buy brand new, you're going to be looking at about $4,000 to $5,000 to get something worth having that will really work and handle a large volume. I'm not talking about mulching stuff in your backyard for a small lot. I'm talking about doing some real work. So as I said, did a lot of research, and for me, this is an excellent chipper. I looked quite a while to find one, and it's made by DR. It's got a lot of power. It's got an 18 horsepower engine, but one of the key features is its low profile. A lot of the chippers, like the Echo Bearcats, have a real tall, high profile, and although they are excellent chippers, if you try to hook it onto the back of your quad or your Rhino, and you're working on uneven terrain, it's really top heavy. It's going to tip over and you're going to damage it. and it's not an option. It's too bad that they make them that way. What's so appealing about the DRs is they're very low profile. They have a small trailer, everything is low to the ground. I can hook this onto the back of my quad or my truck and pretty much go anywhere with it. DR makes a lot of gimmicky stuff that I don't particularly care for, but one thing that they do make right is wood chippers. They're very small, compact, they make them powerful, and this individual chipper will handle 4-inch, no problem. And the key to this thing is it's got a what do you call it? It's got a tube here that redirects the chips into the back of a truck or trailer. A lot of these chips are going to dump them on the ground, and that gives you a lot more work. You got to pick them up off the ground and put them into the trailer. This here, having an integrated chute, will blow it in the back of your truck or the back of a trailer, and it saves a huge step. I would buy it just for this feature alone. So these things are expensive. So you got to figure out, what do you want to do? Do you want to rent one or do you want to buy one? Maybe a good option is you can go buy one used like I did, and maybe you can use it throughout the summer or the fall and then sell it, recoup your money. Because if you take care of it and you buy it right, you're not going to lose any money. To replace this chipper brand new, you're looking at, for an 18-horse model, around the $5,000 range. I picked up this wood chipper on Craigslist for $1,600. It only had 40 hours on it, and it came with lots of extra knives and filters and belts, and it was really a great value. So this is a great tool to have, and not only for just chipping and get rid of stuff for fire control, but also I'm going to show you in a future video how these wood chips can be used in your garden with great success. Another thing you want to take into consideration is access to water. If you have, there's two ways you can go about this. If you have a stream or a creek or a spring on your property, make sure you, if you have access to a piece of equipment or if you're renting a piece, to take a minute and dig out a retention pond. Because when a fire comes through, you're going to really need access to water. And you can just count on the power being down. So if you're relying upon a well pump or electricity to supply any type of water, that's going to be completely off the table, and you're going to need access to something else. So whoever had this property before us had really thought out things well. It's very defensible. We have two water supplies. We have at the lower end a nice pond here that I can draft from a small pump and fill a water tank, or up on the higher side I also have a nice pond up there. If you don't have access to like that, in the winter time, go on Craigslist. Sorry, it's our shepherd thinks that she's a lab here and likes to swim. Go to Craigslist and you'll see that there'll be lots of people trying to get rid of the inflatable style swimming pools. Oftentimes you can get them for free, and just by going and picking them up. Get one of those things, if not two. They'll hold thousands of gallons of water, and what you can do is you'll have some advance warning if there is a fire sparking up. You can set this thing up in your yard and you can start filling it. In a day or two you can have that filled with a couple garden hoses, and you can use that water with a small pump to fill a tank. Or a sprinkler or garden hose, or just a number of different things. So that's a good option. A pond is the best because it's just less trouble, less effort, but a swimming pool inflatable would be ideal. Also, in regards to the storage pond, whether it's a pool or a storage pond that's filled by a creek, I'll be showing in a future video how you can build a relatively inexpensive, basically like a Forest Service Type 6 gas-powered pump with 250-gallon water tank on a skid that you can load into the back of a pickup, or like a Rhino or Gator type of vehicle. And we'll be doing that in future videos. As a wildland firefighter, I used to be an engine boss on a Type 6 and worked on fires all over the country. And I know how effective that combination can be. 250 gallons of water, a few tools, and a proper pump that you can draw water from a pond or from a swimming pool can make all the difference, especially if you catch the fire in time before it starts getting out of control. Be sure to maintain a proper access to your water supplies. When we do put together the the pump system, the tank system, will need to be able to, whether it's our truck or SUV or UTV of some sort, we'll need to have access to that where we can use that to draw water.